Hello, and welcome to this webcast recording of Enterprise Data Discovery with Qlik, originally recorded on September 23, 2014. My name is Michael Van Son, and I am a consultant with Thorogood Associates. I've been working with Qlik products for our customers, and recently I've been improving a series of applications for one of our biggest consumer goods clients. And with me today is my colleague Corey Hulse. Corey is our global capability lead for Qlik and has spent many years working for our customers in consumer goods, pharmaceuticals, and insurance. We're excited that you are joining us today to discuss Qlik and the possibilities their technology can hold for your organization. We wanted to share a bit about Thorogood Associates for those who might not be familiar with us. Thorogood is a specialist consultancy for business intelligence and analytics. We help our customers match their business goals with technical possibilities. We operate as a single integrated organization across our locations in London, New York, Philadelphia, and Bangalore. And we provide a full range of BI services from strategy to design and implementation to support and training to analytics. With the focus on Qlik today, we wanted to quickly highlight some of our partner credentials. We are Qlik Systems Integrator Partners, meaning we are here to help enterprise organizations leverage existing and new data sets to deliver value. We've built hundreds of applications across our customers, and we were active participants in the recent Qlik Sense beta. For a complete listing of technologies and partner relationships Thorogood engages in, you can visit our website at thorogood.com. And now we will begin the recording.
Let's take a look at our objectives for today. First, the enterprise. We'll discuss the challenges that enterprise customers face and how Qlik can be utilized with your existing systems to unlock the potential for your organization's data. Next, QlikView 11.2. Many organizations have built highly customized and robust applications. We'll look at a few business area-focused applications and discuss the possibilities that this platform continues to offer. And finally, Qlik Sense. This recent release from Qlik offers a stunning new platform for visualizing and interacting with your data. We'll demonstrate the new capabilities of Qlik Sense and how you can integrate this in your organization. We wanted to highlight the two product sets that we'll be speaking about today, QlikView 11.2 and the just released Qlik Sense. We feel that the Qlik organization has done a good job with publishing technical information about QlikView 11.2. Therefore, the goal of this event is not to give you a technical product tour, but instead give you insight on projects we have engaged in with our enterprise customers and how they have derived business value by using QlikView. With Qlik Sense, this is a brand new product that just went to general release a week ago. We'll give you insight as to our thoughts so far and where we see this product set fitting into the enterprise. Now, why are we talking about both today? Well, Qlik Sense is brand new, but QlikView will still continue to receive support for 2.5 more years. Your organization might be using 11.2 and want to know how to maximize value over that time. Qlik Sense is not a straight upgrade like previous products have been, so we feel that both products are still very relevant for our customers as they decide their upgrade strategy and what to do next. Let's discuss Qlik and the enterprise. To highlight Qlik's commitment to enterprise customers, we're going to take a bit of a historical tour as to the improvements made over time. Qlik as an organization has been around since 1993 with the premiere of QlikView version 1.0. Version 4 in 1999 introduced QlikView Server, and since then we've seen the addition of items like Publisher, Management Console, and Access Point. In 2003, Qlik introduced 64-bit capabilities, and as hardware and memory became less cost-prohibitive in the later part of the 2000s, QlikView began to really hit its stride with customers. Through recent times, Qlik has seen competition from products like Tableau, Spotfire, and improved Power BI Microsoft tools. And as a result, we've seen them step up their capabilities even more to react to the market. Today, with QlikView 11.2, there are a number of areas like Expressor, Governance Dashboard, and Direct Discovery, which enable better data management and better enterprise security, while still remaining adaptable and flexible to business needs. Qlik Sense is taking it one step further by empowering users even more while strengthening the core behind their server architecture. Now let's take a look at a couple of Qlik's most recent releases. Returning to our objectives, we'll first highlight QlikView 11.2. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Corey Hulse. Corey?
All right, thank you, Mike. So We're going to be talking at first about QlikView 11.2, and the first thing, just some high-level bullet points about this particular tool set. Many of our customers who are Qlik customers currently use this tool, or if you have older versions even and are considering an upgrade, we want to discuss why we think QlikView 11.2 is still very relevant alongside the brand new release of Qlik Sense. But focusing on Qlik 11.2 to start, QlikView and Qlik Sense are both in-memory tools, both of which give you quick speed to insight. Now with Qlik 11.2, it also gives you the ability to answer the next question. So let's think of a basic static report that an analyst might typically use. Now the report might tell you something, perhaps in a category or a customer, they're not meeting targets. Well, what do you do next? Well, if you want more data, quite often you can't get it in that specific report. You might need to go somewhere else, go into a different system, get IT involved to help you generate new data. You might need to go elsewhere, but with QlikView, it changes that. You can build that data into your application and have it be just a click away. Associations become more apparent. You can get quicker time to insight. And with collaboration and self-service, you're not in it alone. We're going to show you some interesting demonstrations shortly that highlight these concepts. Now, QlikView 11.2 is a very robust desktop tool, and with version 11, Qlik introduced the ability to add mobility through tablets and phones and even established a dedicated iOS app. We'll show a demonstration on our iPad coming up shortly. Now, there's much to say on Qlik Server. We'll cover some basic concepts later on, but how to best optimize your organization's implementation really requires a conversation about your users, your data needs, and future business intelligence goals. And overall, Qlik is very much an agile tool and flexible when it comes to data and front-end implementation that you can truly make the product yours to get great return on investment within any of your QlikView products. Now, we're going to do a demonstration. People love demonstrations. We're going to be taking a look at web-based analytic reporting. Now, within this demonstration, there are a few things that we're going to cover. We're going to be talking about a consumer goods project that we did that had a financial spin. Now, our customer was interested in a few things, specifically profit and loss reporting. They wanted different reporting structures to be interactive by having a few base views available, but really give people an option to build and share their own ad hoc reporting. We're going to also highlight in-browser interactivity along with collaborative sessions on iPads. So if you give me just a moment here, I'm going to be connecting up and sharing my desktop with you all. And so I'm checking with Rachel. All right, seems like Rachel can see the screen there. And we're going to get our iPad set up as well to do mirroring. And first, let's introduce you to Access Point. So what are we showing here with Access Point? Well, all of the applications that are available to me as a user. So your organization might have a single application. Your organization might have hundreds of applications. And the idea behind Access Point is to make it easier for users to find the application that they're using for so they can get into it and start doing their analysis. So we're logging in. I'm in a browser right now. There is a QlikView native tool, but the idea behind browser is that all of my data is centralized on a proper server somewhere where access is controlled, security is controlled. I'm let in and I can see the data and the applications that I'm supposed to see, and people who aren't supposed to see these things are blocked out because of the security configuration. What we're looking at now is just an overall dashboard. And again, to remind you what we're looking at here is our customer was interested in customized profit and loss reporting, the standard profit and loss hierarchy, standard reports that used to come out of their old legacy system, but the idea was to make it robust and more interactive. So instead of just a base P&L report, we have a dashboard here that gives us very quick insight on very important P&L accounts like net units sold, gross sales, cost of goods sold, and even some more minor areas like sales and marketing expenses, which smaller on the P&L line, but very important for management to have insight on. And we've got that base information here in a dashboard. But I'm going to jump over to our customized P&L income statement that we've put together. And what we have is very quantitative-driven information presented in a nice format. We have custom branding here. We have a lot of highly formatted reporting that we've done here to make the reports not only provide information, but look nice as well and look interactive. And the idea behind this is, we can drill in and not just have a static P&L. So, this is nice, but what about for my energy segment? Well, with the associative experience, all you have to do is click on energy, and you've got that information that's here. In addition, we have brands that are here, so if I wanted to go further down into a specific set, I can click on that, and my P&L is once again refreshed. Now, I can take different slices of data, maybe look at it for a different time period or look at it for a different customer set. And what our customer was interested in was some basic static reporting that I have the ability to filter on and then save as a favorite to come back to this selection later. So it was reporting not only relevant for the high-level CIO and CEO to put together, but for our analysts who might be in charge of a particular customer set or a particular brand. So this is nice. We've got some static reporting, but what if I want my own customized reporting? I'm going to hit clear, and we're going to navigate to an ad hoc tab. And the idea behind this ad hoc tab is to let users really create their own reporting. So we've done it in a semi-structured way where we've given our users the ability to pick their own dimensions and pick their own measures. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple of them here. I'm going to look at brand and brand family, and notice it's starting to build out the report. Oh, but I don't have any data yet. Well, we need to look at our measures that are important for us to look at for this analysis. So I'm going to bring actuals on, and now I've just created a very simple report within my browser that gives me access to information very relevant to me. So I'm taking a look at some actuals here. This is interesting, but maybe I need to do some digging. I see my energy segment. Oh, okay, well, this seems up compared to plan. How are we doing? You know, not really sure. Maybe I want to get some deeper insights here, and I can go and drag and customize this report to look at the way I want. Now, say I'm in the office, but I want to talk to my analyst, and Mike here is going to be playing the role of an analyst, and he's out in the field right now, but he's in charge of one of our particular product segments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share a session with Mike. So Mike is out and about right now, and what we're going to do is send an email off to, well, myself, because that's the way that we have it configured today, but Mike's on an iPad sitting next to me, and so the idea behind this is I'm on a desktop, Mike is on an iPad. What we're doing is we're live streaming Mike's iPad. And on Mike's iPad, we can see on the right here, Mike and I are looking at the exact same application at the same time. So normally, oh, okay, well, this is just like a screen share. Well, no, not quite. It's not quite a screen share. When we make selections on the application, I can make selections, Mike can make selections. So Mike, you're in charge of one of our product segments. Can you select that on the iPad?
Yep, I will select energy.
All right, so Mike has picked energy in the product segment, and what you may have seen in the background is that I've also been filtered in on energy here. Oh, we're taking a look at energy. All right, so Mike, I'm going to switch up now. Instead of looking at brand and brand family, I'm going to take off brand family, and maybe I want to take a look at sales area. And I can take a look at those breakdowns here by sales area and brand. Now, we were having a discussion earlier about our specific accounts. Maybe we want to take a look at some of the P&L accounts that are relevant to our conversation today. What would be a good one to look at, Mike?
Maybe I'm interested in net sales.
The idea behind this is that Mike and I can have an interactive conversation and not only be looking at the application at the same time, but Mike doesn't have to be yelling at me, oh, click here, no, that one, oh, do that one. We can both be interacting and exploring and discovering things about the data that we're looking at the same time. We'll recap this. We really think collaborative sessions are really a highly underutilized feature when it comes to QlikView, and we think that this is something really awesome that more of our customers should take advantage of. All right, Mike, thanks for showing us that demo on the iPad. What we're going to do now is just show the idea of in-browser capabilities to start building your own reports. So something that we've done for customers in the past is to take something like user reports here, and okay, here's a blank slate for customers to take a look at. So I go and right-click and notice that, okay, this isn't a standard window selection because it's an HTML5-driven experience. So if I wanted a new sheet object, I'm going to get, oh, interesting, I have a new object here that I can bring on. So we're just going to do something very simple here. I'm going to bring a bar chart in, and notice that there are some defaults which have already been defined. So we've got some country here and a basic sum. All right, well, I don't want sum of account ID. That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to do sum of value, and then instead of splitting it by country, let's go take a look at our brands. So I'm going to make a quick change here and take a look at our brands. Okay. And so now I've got a quick split. Now Mike and I were looking at energy before, so it's remembered that we were looking at energy, and it's filtered on that. If I go ahead and click clear, oh good, now I have all of my brands here. All right, well this is kind of ugly, but with experience and knowledge of power users, what we can do is modify this further and create a real interactive experience. So I'm going to click on a complete version. We'll show you a complete version here. And the idea behind this is to take advantage of alternate states. And what we can do here is do some comparisons. And so I could get Mike back on the line in our share session here, and we can start taking a look at different interactive elements. So if I wanted to take a look at energy, we need to take energy and compare it to our juice segment. And I want to select net units sold. And we can do that here, and I'm building out some interactive analysis, and I've still got Mike on the line here, and Mike can see the same thing. So, you know, Mike, is juice a fair comparison? Maybe we need to be comparing to soda instead.
Let's try soda.
And so Mike's made the selection on the iPad, and again, it's filtered and it's reflected on my desktop version. So this concludes the first demo. All right, so some key points what we saw here. What did we do for our customer? Hopefully we showed you that you can quickly interact within a browser to get key information. Now in our ad hoc portion, we carefully designed the application to give people the ability to tap into more information beyond just the initial purpose of the app, giving them more insight than they should have had if we had just designed a report with a single purpose. We also took advantage of things like shared sessions to solve a problem together in real time. We also have bookmarks available to us if there's a particular selection. We should come back and look at this next week when next week's data is in. It will meta-remember the selections we've made so that I can instantly see this week's impact on the particular set we're filtering on. Now, we think that, I mentioned this earlier, we think that shared sessions are a very underutilized feature that can really bring people together quickly without the need of a screen sharing session. And we showed you what the iPad looks like in action. You get many of the same features as desktop while being on the go. However, what about things like security, network access? We've seen different customers approach this in different ways, so please drop us a note in the chat panel if you're considering mobile, but are looking for some help on how to implement it or what to do next with it. So next we're going to go into end-user authoring. So there are certainly things that IT wants and should keep under their control in a lockdown enterprise environment where they are the creators and everyone else consumes. But we have seen in a number of enterprise organizations occasions where an analyst will need someone from IT to create a report for them in order to answer questions that may have been asked of them. Now, if we're talking about adding data that might not exist in a source system or perhaps something overly complex, then you want your IT staff to assist with this. But what about requests that are simple modifications to information that the analyst already has access to? You know, for example, your analyst might have access to a report with all of the information they need, but maybe it's not broken down in a specific way or not in the correct time frame. These types of requests can slow down your IT organization and hinder your business. They're not getting the insight that they want. People aren't getting the data they want in a timely manner. So in the last example, we showed how QlikView was able to help expedite part of that process by some ad hoc reporting. Now in this next demo, we'll show you QlikView helps down to break this dependence on potential IT bottleneck by moving our analyst from a consumer role into a creator role. So to introduce this topic, we're going to have a very brief discussion and introduction to the concept of extract, transform, and load, ETL for short. My presumption is perhaps many of you on the call are familiar with this sort of base concept, but here we have a very simple QlikView model where we tap directly into data sources. No mess, no fuss. However, there's no recyclability of the data or information. Use it once, get rid of it. Now, we're going to bring in more of a layered approach. We can extract the data from as many sources as we want and use the transform layer to put in proper business logic and lock things down a bit more. By approaching QlikView this way, we have the opportunity to centrally manage and recycle data to get more mileage from the existing data by putting it into additional applications. Now this leaves us flexible to directly add data into an application via this text file here on the outside, and so let's see that in a demonstration. Now, we're going to be talking about our Soda Co. company again, and a good consumer goods topic that hopefully resonates with our customers, third-party market data. And we feel that, you know, third-party market data not only applies to consumer goods customers, but any of our customers, whether they're in finance or insurance, data from the outside world that you want to integrate quickly in with your corporate data. Now, in this example, we have that base sales data application. Now, we're going to bring in some outside information about competitor sales and advertising spend, and we want to discover if there are any corollaries that exist between the two. So I'm going to go ahead and share my desktop again. I'm showing you the desktop version of QlikView, and let's show you a bit behind the scenes in terms of the data set. I have my Sodaco financials as a separate workbook, and I'm going to be just tapping into it. So the data model and all the data that exists there, I'm going to tap into, and I'm going to add my own information to it. And so I've got some third-party unit sales, I've got some media spend information that are in separate text files, and I'm going to mash it up with my corporate data. And so, okay, good, I've got a blank slate. Well, I can open up other applications, copy and paste elements in, but I want to show you how quickly we can put something together here. So I'm going to add in a few elements that, okay, what we're interested in. I want to see company, because we're bringing in outsider information, brand, of course, and media information, and media spend is what I'm interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and add in ad type. So I've got that information here, and now I can start to arrange my objects and start to put together some interesting visualizations and analysis. So we're going to go ahead and add a chart in. We're just going to add a very basic bar chart, and we're going to split it up by company, and then go ahead and type in the calculation that we want. So sum of value. It's been set up pretty simply for me to get what I need from an insight perspective. Oh, cool. In just a few seconds here, I've built a very quick app that I've merged in Sodaco financials, and I had outside information about Drinks Corp and Beverage Inc., and I've merged it all together. Now, with a few more steps and some more time, we know people don't have all day, so we're going to skip to a more complete version. So here, I've spent some time before our webcast here putting together a very, very simple interface. This took me about 5 minutes to put together. My data model is there. I've mashed the data up, and now I've got some really quick insight into ad types and companies, and I've got that information here. The idea behind this is to enable your power users to do a bit more than just what IT provides them. So next we'll show you an even more complete version. So we spent an hour or two on this, putting all of this together, getting some corporate branding together, and it's that same sort of insight that we saw previously. And we're trying to use good visualization techniques to highlight the Sodaco. We're a blue company, so we want to have that resonate through our branding. And I also want to be able to quickly identify and do some analysis of our sales versus the competition. So I've added a bit more information in here, but it's not just about the sales information. I've got media spend and media information. Where are we spending our money? And does that correlate in an uptick in sales? So that's the business insight that we're trying to gain here. Couldn't do that natively with just the information that was in my base corporate data set. I've merged it together, and hopefully being able to see some insights now. So here, I have my advertising spend, and what we're taking a look at this top left corner here, sales change versus prior, right? Versus last year this time, how are we doing in terms of sales? And what we can see, broken down by sector, okay, hey, we're up in a few sectors. Ooh, but let's look at energy specifically. This story seems interesting. Our sales are way up compared to previous year. Well, how does that resonate from an advertising perspective? So if I click on energy, it filters my application, and you can see, ooh, oh, that's right, we did have a really big campaign last year to really boost our presence in the energy market. And you can see our competitors aren't spending as much on advertising, and it seems like we're really beating them in the marketplace right now. And we've got some scatter plot and other information that will hopefully help resonate with that to see how are our brands and SKUs doing versus the competition. So the idea behind this is, where did we start? Well, we started with that base application that we showed earlier here. So we've got my base information about my company in an application, but I've taken it and made it my own now. Taken that, merged data together, got more insight. Oh, cool, okay, well, I've got this on my local machine now. The question becomes, what's next? Is this information that we need to properly integrate into our enterprise? How do we approach that, and how can QlikView help with that? So I'm going to stop sharing that QBW and go back to the PowerPoint deck here. So what did we hopefully show you? Power users have the opportunity to bring data together that in a traditional enterprise organization might take weeks or months depending on your IT structures. Now, third-party data, data from disparate sources, and local data can come together to put real insight directly in the hands of people that need it. And let's go back and look at our extract, transform, and load model again. So here was the simplified model that we saw earlier, and we have this text file. We brought the text file in. And with that text file, we've loaded it into the application. Great, I've got that. But what next? You're going to bring this up, have multiple applications, and we're now building out multiple applications in this simplified version of the data model. We could take this out as far as we need to build a very robust and adaptable data model set to suit our needs. But how can you successfully manage it? So this is where we talk about the agility of data. We want to be able to reach quickly to develop high-value applications that have good return on investment for our business users. So we talk about the concept of an agile data store. Get data in quickly, perhaps by loading it directly into an application like we did in our demonstration. It's not IT controlled, and the data could be or is throwaway when you're done, and that represents this gray box on the right. However, if you're seeing value for other people, let's say we get a feed of this media information on a monthly basis or weekly basis, and we want to tie it into our corporate data set. So the data is becoming more steady state, and it moves along the path to be put into an agile data store. Might not be quite IT controlled, but perhaps a series of flat files that you can quickly bring into a temporary landing zone to give it structure and support, but the quality is less assured. This can be a good middle ground to keep value, but also keep processes aligned to ensure the integrity of the data. Now finally, it can be moved into your proper data warehouse. Robust, stable, strong processes, assured quality. Now we know that all of our customers are different in their data approaches. We've helped our customers devise strategies that make sense for their needs, not just with Qlik data stores, but with all of the technologies that you're using, both as source data and as front end. So please chat with us on the side panel if you have any questions on how we can help you. So at this point, I'm going to turn it back to Mike, who's going to give us an introduction into Qlik Sense.
Thank you, Corey. We'll now revisit our objectives. Last on our list is something we're all really excited about here, Qlik's most recent release, Qlik Sense. Qlik Sense is a self-service tool that is intuitive and simple for users. Its storytelling feature allows collaboration and better facilitates meaningful conclusions. The associative data experience is still very much alive and well in this iteration of the program, and Global Smart Search builds on the associate experience to help you achieve even quicker time to insight. The new API engine with Qlik Sense allows you to take the base program and extend it to fit your organization's needs. The API not only applies to desktop, but to server as well. And finally, any device that can render HTML can open Qlik Sense. Today, we'll be looking at it on the desktop, but it extends to Windows, Mac, and mobile platforms as well. I'll again turn the presentation over to Corey, who will demonstrate the exciting new capabilities of Qlik Sense.
All right. Corey? Thanks, Mike. And so we're going to show you Qlik Sense now. Now we're going to take a look at the same cut of data that we looked at in the last demo where we have market information and media information, but that data has now been loaded into Qlik Sense. We'll cover some of the features here and afterwards discuss at a high level about the server capabilities and next steps for our customers. I'm going to share my desktop once again. All right, very good. So what are we taking a look at here with Qlik Sense? Now what we have is a desktop hub. So people who are looking at this might look like access point in a way. So all of your individual applications that you have here, you can access through the desktop hub. Now I'm going to click on Market and Media Spend because that's what we were taking a look at earlier, and that's going to load my app overview. Now with the app overview, instead of just tabs along the top, this has really been optimized for an experience on any type of device. So where the desktop, you really did need a mouse to be able to click on a tab or click on a link or an icon. They've really optimized it so that this can work not only on desktop but on mobile devices as well. Now to introduce, we have some base information about the application that we're going to look into, and we have the sheets, and this represents the different cuts of the data that we're going to be looking at from our sales and media perspective. What we have on the left side here, bookmarks, so we've had some interesting cuts of the data. We can instantly jump to that by going through a bookmark. And we have the new storytelling feature, which Mike mentioned earlier. We'll tell you a bit of a story in terms of the information that we saw by merging our market and media information together. But let's jump to the front part and take a look at total sales. So this is just a different cut of the data set that we looked at earlier, where we're seeing sales over time and sales by company. On the left here, I've got my navigation panels, I've got the company name, so if I want to focus in just on SodaCo, because that's my company, I can do that here. What you'll notice here is that two things. We've got my other selectors on the left here, but you may have noticed that the color on brand changed. If I go and pick brand, much like my old experience with QlikView, the brands that are relevant to SodaCo trickle up to the top, and brands that are related to other companies fall to the bottom. I also have my selections brought up top, so even if I navigate to a new page, this is the new iteration of the current selections panel that used to exist. Current selections are now bubbled up to the top, and if I want to make a quick change, I can quickly navigate that, get information. It tells me one of my 3 companies is selected. If I want to clear it off, go ahead, clear, and potentially start over. So we'll navigate through a few tabs to show you what this looks like. And what we have here, and again, just different cuts, and this chart seems interesting. I've got this button here to take any individual element full screen. That seems like something maybe we should dig into a bit more. Let me close out of that, and we'll navigate to some of the other tabs that we're looking at here. So we'll just cut through quickly, and we've got different types of charts and different types of functions available. I've got smart color formatting again to show relevance for my company compared to the competition. And I'm going to go over, we've got some more information on scatter plots with a lot of dots there. Let me make this bigger. Interesting. So I've gone ahead and I've made this bigger. If I want to pick on any individual data point, I want to kind of see what's going on in this upper quadrant. I can use the lasso tool to go and make a selection. So I want to make sure I get these dots out there. I want to try to find where I'm having high advertising spend, and then it correlates into high change in sales compared to last year. So I'm going to click on that, and now I'm filtered in on that. And I can use the zoom feature to zoom in more and then figure out what's going on with any individual data point by hovering. And I've also got smart context here that not only tells me colors, the stuff versus the competition, but I've also got highlights along the right side here that tell me, you've got more data points out to the right and out to the top to help give me full, better visual context of everything that I'm taking a look at. Let's clear out what we've done previously, and we're going to navigate over to a couple new tabs. Another new thing that we feel is really interesting is Global Smart Search. And so Global Search was introduced in some of the more recent iterations of QlikView, but it's been more tightly integrated into this particular set. So if I want to search Apple, good, I've got my Appleberry brand, and there's the crayon apple selection. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Appleberry. And now I've filtered in on that brand. Anywhere where the word Apple comes in, my Appleberry brand and my crayon apple, which is a competitor of ours, I can quickly see that and filter on that. Maybe I want to save this as a bookmark and come back to it. Maybe I want to navigate back to some of my other tabs to help find insight. I'm going to hit clear and show you how quick and easy it is to edit existing documents. So before, you'd have simple right clicks and you can add in new elements in QlikView. With this new set, it is very much a drag and drop interface, which is meant to work on any device really. So let's make this scatter plot a bit tighter, and I want to bring a bit more insight into it. What I have on my left side here are a series of charts. So what would I be interested to bring in? Let's bring in a bar chart here. So I'm going to bring in a bar chart and populate that here. But what I can do is add dimensions, and I can add measures. So Qlik Sense is a bit more tightly integrated in terms of the metadata that surrounds it. These sorts of things existed in QlikView, but they're really brought to the forefront in Qlik Sense. So some more careful consideration should be put into place to your data models that you put together to help make it as easy and intuitive for users as possible. We've identified brand as a dimension or a product segment. So I'm going to bring product segment in here. And then from a measure perspective, I want to take sum of sales. So I've predefined some things here. And I can take that information and let's blow it up and make it bigger. And I've got my product segments. We're going to make it a bit smaller. Let's take this element, make it a bit tighter. And I can just very quickly and easily put together some interesting insights. So I'm going to go ahead and click Done. And now, cool, I've just modified this to suit my needs and fit the way that I need to get the insights that I, as an individual, are looking for. Now we can take any of these elements, let's say I put together a really interesting bar chart, I can save it as a master element, and anyone else using this application via the server can also take this master element and publish it and put it into their applications and insights. So we've shown you some interesting things. I think one of the coolest new features that are available in Qlik Sense is the tight integration with maps. So geospatial is something that is possible in QlikView, but it's not natively integrated. It is now natively integrated in Qlik Sense. So what we have here is a map of the United States, and then we've got some insights on the right to help us break down sales relative to our competitors. So where we get some interesting insight is the ability to interact with my data, just like you could anywhere else. So I'm going to pick Sodaco, and okay, I see we have sales in the Northeast. Well, I guess that makes sense actually. We're a pretty tightly integrated company in the Northeast, so I'm going to zoom. And look at that, I've just zoomed, and I'm within the application, and I can see that, okay, hey, sales are strong in the Mid-Atlantic and New England, but not so good in New Jersey and not so good over here in Vermont. And I can hover and get some insight. Maybe I need to take some action on here. So what this allows me to do is to grab the area that's relevant and then maybe go back and do some more analysis or share this with bookmarks. But we're going to jump into storyboard mode. And what storytelling mode does is helps you put together the quantitative with the qualitative. QlikView is such a great program, and Qlik Sense at its base for showing you the quantitative information that's out there. What this allows you to do is add more qualitative-based information, insights, and other information that might be relevant. And so here we're taking a look, and now we can tell a story with their data. So we're consistently outperforming our competitors in sales. And this is a nice little swipe feature. So if I'm looking at on a desktop, I just grab, and I move over to the next slide. If I'm looking at an iPad or an iPhone, I literally just take my finger and swipe it over, and that gives us to the next insight. So we've put together some contextual information. Okay, we're seeing a trend in time for sales. The juice segment made a large jump, and the energy segment made a large jump. And this is tying it back to the outside information that we brought into this application about advertising spend. So, okay, we're seeing the companies spend similar money on advertising spend, but we've really upped our advertising budget in 2014. Does that correlate to increases? Well, we're seeing an increase in sales in energy specifically. That's interesting. Maybe we can get more insight. So we saw increases in energy. Could increased advertising spend in the energy sector be correlated with the uptick in sales? We think so. So does that mean we need to start putting more advertising in some of our other brands? Do we need to revitalize the portfolio? And what this allows you to do is conversations and insight and build out interesting contextual information. So not only do I have an interesting visual chart here, but look, we're splitting up into quadrants and we're giving some looks for people to, you don't necessarily have to do a live demonstration of this. This can be provided as an interesting pack for, say, board members, or it could be done for your advertising field, or it could be done for your analysts who are out there working with customers. What we also have is the ability to integrate all of those elements together in a storyboard mode. So we're looking at the map that we saw earlier, and I'm going to do some selecting. I pick Sodaco, and now I can zoom. All the things that we were doing in the base version of Qlik Sense, I'm doing in the storyboard mode. So it's very tightly integrated. It's not just a simple presentation that you put together. It can be interactive. It can help gain insight even in this storyboard mode, which natively would just be considered, okay, you're just having a showcase of what's happening. Well, no, it's tightly integrated with the rest of the product. This is interesting. Go to Sheet. And now I can navigate to the source sheet where this came from. And so everything can be tightly integrated, not only from a standard tabs point of view, but in the stories that you tell from your data. So that gives us a very quick insight into Qlik Sense and how Qlik Sense looks. Now, the storytelling feature, again, allows for collaboration. We think better facilitates drawing meaningful conclusions to make Qlik Sense a very simple and intuitive self-service tool and really make it more powerful within your organization. So I'm going to stop sharing now and go back. And we have a couple concepts to cover here. And so thinking back to maybe your standard QlikView design or QlikView 11 design, potential migration to Qlik Sense from QlikView. Now you might be saying, it's a completely new program. We're going to have to scrap everything that we've done previously. Well, no, not so. In this flowchart, we represent an end-to-end process of getting your data from the data sources into QlikView. Now, it's broken down into two sections, data layer on top and the presentation layer down bottom. In your data layer, you might have processes in place to extract data into QlikView optimized QED files, and then have data models or ClickMarts that bring all that information together. Now, looking at the presentation layer, front-end scripts, data models, and the user interface. Now, what's different? What can you keep and what needs to change? So we've highlighted in green areas that you can keep. You've no doubt spent a lot of time investing in an existing QlikView environment, and so what can you keep? Well, everything in green. All of your data layer elements that you've invested in can be reused in Qlik Sense. You can also keep front-end scripts and data models. There is a native import tool which brings your QlikView data models into Qlik Sense. Now, what changes? Obviously, the user interface, completely different than what people have seen previously. Now, some might be easy to port over, but some will no doubt be difficult because of customization we've seen our customers do on the front end. So this is where Thorogood can help you in your journey to evaluate what you have currently and how easy or difficult it would be to bring applications in line with Qlik Sense. Let us help you with that data journey. So just a few quick notes on Qlik Sense Server. Browser-based management. So this includes the use of HTML5 and JSON, and what it allows is consistent access and experience across whatever device you're connecting the server from, whether it's Windows, Mac, or mobile devices. Another big thing is reusable libraries. So architecture and data can be better recycled than it has been in the past. And a big thing with Sense Server, secure, governed, and scalable. So you have global multi-node support, and you can have your nodes spread across physical locations, but in addition to on-premise, you also have cloud deployments, which are possible. You have a flexible security engine, and this allows support and deployments across many different types of systems. And finally, Qlik Sense is taking on a revamped licensing structure, and the goal is to better simplify user access through the use of a new system for allocating document and user usage compared to how QlikView is configured currently. So to conclude, let's have a recap of what we've discussed today. We hope that we showed you how Qlik can fit into the enterprise landscape by highlighting Qlik's two current products, QlikView 11.2 and the brand new Qlik Sense. Now, we think that both products still have the merits for our customers, so we're happy to pick up any conversations to plan next steps with your organization. And thinking more largely, how can we help? If you're in need of Qlik expertise, we'd be very happy to discuss how we can help at Thorogood. Now, we provide a gamut of end-to-end business intelligence and analytics services. We can help you get started or do more with Qlik, perhaps with a proof of concept, or we can take a look at your existing Qlik setup to see if there are ways to optimize your current approach or to help do more to integrate more fully Qlik into your enterprise organization. We can also evaluate how QlikView and Qlik Sense would fit in with your existing BI architecture to help you explore more of the possibilities. And so please drop us a note in the chat panel, engage Thorogood, and let's work together to unlock the possibilities of these technologies for your organization. Now, I know we're right at time. Me, Mike, and Rachel are going to be standing on the line here to answer a few more questions. At this point, I'm going to check in with Rachel and Mike to see if anyone has asked any questions so far in the chat panel. Guys, anything interesting come across today?
Yes, we do have a few questions here,
Okay.
Corey. Will Qlik Sense require additional physical servers in addition to the QlikView server?
The short answer, I believe, is yes. The architecture needs to be separated out. And so a physical server, no, it could be a virtual server as well, from what we understand. If there are particular other follow-up questions, happy to answer them via the chat panel.
Is Qlik Sense available for a 32-bit environment?
Qlik Sense is available for 32-bit. And so what's available now, actually, and this is I always thought it was an interesting strategy, but I think it works. You can go to Qlik.com right now and download a copy of Qlik Sense Desktop. And so you can download that, and I believe it is available both 32-bit and 64-bit. And so you can download the desktop version. I believe, unless I'm mistaken, server needs to be a 64-bit environment. And so it'd be interesting to follow up with whomever asked that question. Is their server configuration currently 32-bit, or are they referring to the desktop version, which could be either 32-bit or 64-bit?
A couple more questions here.
Yep.
Does Qlik Sense need admin rights to be installed?
Qlik Sense, does it need admin rights to be installed? I can't answer that question without looking at their particular computer. It is a program that gets installed, much like the regular QlikView desktop, so I guess it just depends on how tied down security is on any individual's laptop. If the person is having trouble, have them flag it in the chat panel. We'll see what we can do to help, but most likely going to have to be a request to their IT organization to let them install it. It's an executable just like anything else. So.
Okay, great. And one follow-up question.
Yep.
Can Qlik Sense be used in desktop mode to allow users to perform ad hoc reporting using only local files?
Yes, and so we didn't show that in the demonstration today, but in Qlik Sense, what you can do is open up the script just like you could in QlikView, and what you need to establish is a connection to a local folder. So when you install Qlik Sense Desktop, it's essentially creating kind of like an ad hoc web server, I guess is the best way that I can describe it, because when you open it, everything's very web-based in terms of how it's rendering. When you go to the load script, it used to be, okay, point to C drive / documents. Here you need to pre-establish a connection to that documents folder, and then you can load local files in.
Great. And one last question that we have.
Yep.
So this is Qlik Sense version 1. What's
Yep.
next after that?
So the way that we understand it when we were down at the partner conference back a few months ago is that there will essentially be 2 tracks. Basically, your stable track and your beta track, for lack of a better term. So with the stable track, as proper iterations and stable releases come around, your organization can adapt that route where when the stable releases are in place, then you will go and move up to that next version. There's also the beta route if your organization is a bit more cutting edge and wants to get in on quick releases as they happen. That cycle is going to be a bit more frequent. That's at least the way that it was presented to us at the last partner conference. If there are follow-up questions, and if anyone out there is considering Qlik Sense, please drop us a note. We're happy to engage with you directly to discuss what's possible for your organization.